Okay guys, today we're going to make an egg crate boat. I'm having to turn it sideways so you guys can see it. It's very cute. You can be pulled along like so. In order to make it, you'll need part of an egg carton, like so. And then you're going to use a pair of scissors to cut it in half. So one egg carton will make 2 boats. So you can do this activity with a friend. You'll also need a triangle of cloth. Needs to be about, let me get my measuring, about 6 to 8 inches tall and cut into a triangle shape. You can use any kind of fabric you want, any color, it doesn't really matter. Here I've got my pink one. The next thing you'll need is a chopstick or a piece of dowel approximately the width of a chopstick, a needle, a sewing needle, a bit of twine, about 3 feet of twine, some embroidery floss or string that can be sewn with, 2 pins, some tacky glue, and that is about it. And maybe some fun animals like these to put in the boat when you're done. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing you're going to do with your egg crate is you're going to use the scissors. After you cut it in half with the scissors, you're going to take the point of the scissors and you're going to use it, rotate it back and forth like so, to make a hole right in the center of the crate. And just go slowly and feel with your finger down under the bottom, and you can kind of feel it slowly poking through. Okay, then you're going to want to make one more hole down here at the end. Now, like I was saying, you can use a styrofoam crate. That one would actually float in water. These paper ones, I like the way they look better, but they do not float for very long in water without getting waterlogged and sinking. Okay, so I've made another hole right here. That's to put our twine through. Also, a bead would be good. Any kind of craft bead you can put, as you can see, that's a bead that I made myself out of Fimo clay. Just put a hole in the middle of and then it makes kind of a cute little handle to pull your boat. You can pull it through the water even. Okay, I'm gonna also use the scissors to help the twine get through this hole, because it's not gonna just want to go through on its own. It's gonna need a little help. So I kind of just keep pushing it through like this, and then look on the other side, so you'll notice when it finally pokes through. And then what I did is on this end here is I made a knot like so by pushing one end of it through, and then pull really tight so that when you pull through like so, it doesn't come out. And this is what you're going to use to drag it along. Okay, take your chopstick. Actually, we're going to measure. Before we glue it on there, we're going to measure. This is where you're going to need your 2 pins. So go to the underneath side of the sail, like so. Put your chopstick on there and wrap the end over, so you know just about how thick to make it. And then you're going to put 1 pin here and another pin right here. And then we're going to sew right outside of the 2 pins, like right there. So you're going to take a piece of embroidery floss or any kind of sewing string that you have. I cut a piece and it's about 18 inches long. If you do have embroidery floss, I only like to use two of the 6 threads. So you start pulling it apart like so. And when you've only got 2 here, you slowly pull them apart. Now this is going to want to get hung up. Can you see what I mean? It's going to want to get tangled up. So I either use my lips to pull this or have a friend pull on this 3rd string like so. And then finally it will pull all the way apart. And so now we're just dealing with 2 strands of it. To thread the needle, I lick it, get it a little bit wet. Poke it through the eye of the needle like so. You might want to have a grown-up help you with this part, unless you're a little bit older and you feel like you've got it. Put a knot on the end of the string like so. And be careful not to pull it all the way through, all the way out, or the needle, it could come unthreaded. You see what I'm saying? Because this end doesn't have a knot. So we're going to start right here at the very tip, right exactly touching the dowel. And I pull the string so that it goes inside. See how I pulled the knot really tight so that it's inside the material now? So you can't see it, and you're just going to go pull it down and come up right here. And you're just going to sew a straight line all the way down. So I've been sewing for a long time, so you might have to be patient with this part or have an adult help you. Just go up and down like that. This can also be done on a sewing machine. I'll show you another sail that I made. I sewed 2 together, and then I'm going to turn it right side out, which I've started doing. Here, before I found the chopstick, I used a popsicle stick. I've made a lot of these with my nieces and nephews. Here's a double-edged one. I took 2 triangles, sewed them together, turned it right side out, and then with the sewing machine sewed 2 lines down the bottom. So now I can just take my chopstick and put it up in here like so. And it's a double-sided sail. If you don't have a chopstick, you can go to the Home Depot and get, it's called a dowel. They're usually about 3 feet long, so if it's too long, I take my gardening clippers and just cut it right there to make it about the length of a chopstick. This one's a little bit longer. Okay, so back to the sewing. We're going to go up and down until we've gone the whole length of this piece, and then that will hold the dowel in place. Okay, I'm about halfway down. I'm going to slip the chopstick out. It doesn't have to be in there while you're working. And then what I'm going to do is this hole that we've made in here, I'm going to put a dab of tacky glue underneath the bottom. That's where it's going to come out the other side. So I'm going to put some glue there. And I'm also going to put some glue on the tip of it like so. And then push it down inside. You see how I did that? Don't let it go too far down because you want a nice tall nest. And then this one's sticking pretty well straight up. If you have trouble with them sticking up on their own, I've been known to use these little guys to kind of help steady it while it dries. Okay, so while that's drying, set it aside and finish your sewing. This is kind of basic sewing. It's a good kind of sewing for a beginner because you just go up and down, up and down. I'll be having some more sewing activities on my channel as we get going. If it gets stuck on the needle, just help it off like so. I mean on the pin. Now when you get close to the end down here, you can tie it off however you take the pins out when you're close to the end. And then what I do is I make a loop and go through the loop, so you're going to actually be tying it off, and then go through this loop again 2 or 3 times, and maybe, there we go, until it's really nice and tight. Then take your scissors and clip it really close to the end there, like so. Now we're ready to put this on our sailboat. These edges don't even need to be sewn or anything. They're just fine like that. So you can see how the stitching I did isn't 100% straight, and the stitches aren't even exactly the same size, but it's good enough. Good enough. Okay, now let's bring our boat back over here. It's been over there drying. It's not 100% dry, but this is pretty stable. So what I'm going to do is put the sail right onto the mast, like so. I turn it on its side so you can kind of see what it looks like. Isn't that cute? It's about ready to set sail. We need to get a cute little bunny and set him right down in there. On this other end of your twine, stick a craft bead on there. Well, I'll show you right now. Tie a knot about 1 inch away from the very end. Then you're going to put the bead on. Let me see if I've got something right close here that I can grab. I think I do. Let's see. You're going to need a bead with a pretty big hole in it. Here we go. Some of these pony beads are even glow in the dark. So then after you've got the knot, you put the bead on like so, and then make another knot on the very end. You people with small tiny fingers are gonna find it pretty easy to do this part. If you're finding it hard, get someone with tinier fingers to help you. And sometimes I use the scissors to help myself, because you're working with hardly anything left of the end here. Keep working it, be patient. It might take you a couple tries like it's taking me. And then eventually you'll get it. Just have patience and don't give up. Use the scissors. It just makes a cute end. You don't have to do it. Or you can make a loop to kind of put your, hold your hand on it. I'll show you that after I'm finished here. And there we go. I think it's gonna work. Well, that's not the nicest knot I've tied. There we go. Whoops, it came right off. Try it again. You can see that when things don't go right, you just be persistent, try another way. I think almost a lot of times I think it's even maybe meant to be that way, because what you end up getting at the end after you've tried several ways, sometimes better than the first way. So when I'm working with students, I tell them there's no wrong way to do it. If it's not working out, it's meant to be that way. So a lot of things in life go that way too. Sometimes by trying a different way, you find the answer. Was it Thomas Edison that said he didn't have 200 ways to make the light bulb? He just found one more way that didn't do it right. One more way not to do it. I think that's what he said. 200 tries, and they weren't mistakes. They were just ways that didn't work out. Until he found a way that did work, and that's how we have light bulbs. Here, let's try doing this. There we go. That'll be cute like this. It's no wrong way to do it. Just keep messing around with it until you've got something kind of cute, like a little handle to pull along. Or you can go like so, and make a knot. And then it gives you a little thing a little handle kind of, to pull it along. Whatever you like. Make sure you have enough rope that can go from you to the floor or from you to the pond or lake. And you're ready to sail away. That's our egg carton boat. Have fun with that one, guys. See you next time.